Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be going over what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. Now this week in GTA we have the Brand Wars event, which is going to be Sprunk versus E. Cola. You can get up to $2 million by watching Twitch using a Twitch account that is linked to your Rockstar Games account, and you can watch somebody who is sponsored, like TGG for example. If you guys want to go and do that, you can make up to $2 million by doing that, which is pretty cool. There's also free Sprunk and E. Cola bodysuits available at all clothing stores, and there's also a free vehicle this week. We're going to go over that in just a minute here, but to get started like we usually do with the weekly challenge, that is going to be to complete 3 business battles this week, and for doing that you're going to get $250,000. To get started with money bonuses this week, we have hot ring circuit races on 4 times money and RP. In addition to that, we also have 4 times money and RP on free mode challenges and free mode events as well. We also have triple money and triple RP on select odd jobs. That is going to be the paper route, the firefighter missions, the quickie farm, safeguard, and the forklift operator jobs. Those are all going to be paying triple this week, which is actually not a terrible way to make money. We also have certain community jobs on triple money and triple RP as well. Getting started with our discounts this week, we have a property discount, and that is going to be 40% off of the hands-on car wash. This is absolutely worth getting, especially if you own a counterfeit cash lockup, because this is going to increase the value of your counterfeit cash product by 35%, plus you will also get a passive income wall safe inside of the car wash as well, which is just another good way to make some extra money. For vehicle discounts, we're starting off on Legendary Motorsport with the Overclocked Autark for 30% off. The Autark is a decent car. It's not really the fastest car ever anymore in GTA. It previously was a top 10 fastest supercar, but just no longer is in that pool. And with HSW in the game now, it's definitely not a top dog anymore. Now with that said, it does have some really good customization options. It is a fun car to drive. It's rear wheel drive, and it has pretty insane downforce and very good handling, largely due to the very light weight of the Autark itself. So it's a fun car, it's cool, but I don't really think it's worth just under $1.4 million. I would definitely wait for a bigger sale, unless you are balling out of control and you just have a lot of money and it doesn't really matter if you buy this and it's something that you want, then, you know, pull the trigger on it for sure. That also goes to say, if you like the Autark for whatever reason as well, now is probably going to be one of the better times to buy it, so I would advise you to do that. But for anybody who's not overly interested in the Autark to begin with, you can skip it this week. Scrolling just a bit further down, we have the Progen GP1 for $882,000, and this car is significantly better value for your money, in my opinion at least. Now, it has a missile lock-on jammer available for it now, which is really cool, and it has really good customization. It's based off the McLaren F1. It's rear wheel drive, but despite this, it actually gets a really good launch off the line, and I think it's largely due to the very, very thick rear tires on this vehicle. The GP1 is a fun car to drive. It has great handling, great downforce, looks awesome. I would recommend this one for $882,000. I think it is worth picking up. Scrolling even further down, we also have the Pegassi Osiris and the Benefactor Sterling GT. The Benefactor Sterling GT, I would say, is a must buy this week for sure. Gotta be one of the best sounding cars in the game, if not the best sounding car in the game. It has a missile lock-on jammer now, but it also has HSW available for it as well, which brings the top speed up to just over 156 miles per hour. And a fun fact about the Sterling GT, it is in the sports classic category, but it is also in the sports category. So it's one of only a few vehicles in the game that are in multiple categories. They also added additional customization to the Sterling GT back in the summer of 2022, so that is another added bonus. I would highly recommend the Sterling GT this week, guys. I think it is absolutely worth buying. As far as the Pegassi Osiris goes, it basically boils down to if you like the car itself for whatever reason. Now, if you do like the Osiris for, you know, your reasons, I would say buy it this week while it's 30% off. However, if you're looking for a car that's really good performance-wise or anything like that, you can probably look past the Osiris, and in fact, I would actually advise you to go for the Autark over the Osiris. The biggest difference that you'll find between the two is that the Osiris feels heavier, and it is also all-wheel drive, so it will get a slightly better launch off the line, but it does have a slightly weaker top speed. and I would say generally worse handling. Now, the Osiris is still a cool car. I do recommend it for, again, those of you that are interested in an Osiris to begin with, but if you're not really interested in the Osiris, to begin with, then I would avoid it this week. Under the four-door section, we have the Obey Tailgater S for $784,000 if you have the trade price. Now, if you don't have the trade price, probably going to be right around $1 million, somewhere right in that neighborhood, maybe $1.1 million. And I think if you have it for the trade price, it's not a terrible car to pick up. It's rear wheel drive, it has decent handling, pretty good customization as well because it's from the Tuners DLC, and of course that also means that you can use it in those Tuners races as well. The Tailgater is a really cool car, customization wise especially, it's awesome, but performance wise it's nothing that special or crazy, so really it just depends on if you like the look of the car. If you've always wanted one, definitely buy it while it's on discount now, because I don't really see it going cheaper in the future. Moving over to Southern San Andreas Super Autos, under the two-door section we have the Shih Tzu K-Tora for $567,000 this week, guys. Now, this is not a great vehicle by any stretch really, in terms of like performance or just being awesome. However, it does have great customization and it is a fun little meme sort of vehicle. Now, for $567,000, I do think it is slightly expensive, but I know many of you have probably been waiting for it to go on sale. So I'd say if it interests you, if the K-Tora interests you to begin with, you should probably buy it while it's 30% off, because why not? However, if it doesn't really appeal to you, you can totally skip it, and that is fine. Alright, and we have another 40% off discount here on the Bravado Hot Ring Hellfire, making it just under $1.1 million. And if you guys were unaware, this is the best hot ring circuit car in the entire game, largely due to the air brake that is on the roof of the vehicle right here, which activates whenever you press the brakes, which is really cool, and it is a great car generally, I would say, as far as the hot ring circuit races go. Now, in free mode, not exactly the craziest car ever, not really that reliable either, but on those open wheel tracks, it is a pretty good vehicle. So if you plan to do any of those this week while they're on 4 times money, I would advise you to pick it up. However, if you're not planning to do that, there is a free option that will still get you access into those races to begin with. Next up, we have the Vapid Click Wagon for $843,500. This is a complete avoid for me. I just don't see how this thing is justified in price, especially when the regular Vapid Click exists, and it is so much better than the Click Wagon. Now, obviously the difference is that this is a wagon, so that might make a difference for some of you. It does have good customization. It is a decent looking car. However, it is extremely slow and pretty miserable to drive, so just be aware of that. Overall, I'd say you can avoid the Vapid Click Wagon for the vast majority of people. Next up, we have the Current Hot Ring Everon, also 40% off. This one is pretty cheap, honestly, $438,000 if you have the trade price, $584,000 if you don't. Now, this is technically the second best hot ring circuit car in GTA Online. However, I would advise you to spend the extra money and just get the real one, because it's going to serve you a lot better in the long run. So this is one I would probably recommend avoiding, and still we do have a free hot ring car coming up here in just a second. Here we have the Declassy Hot Ring Saber. It is a free vehicle this week, so everybody should come here and try to get one of these at least. And then you can upgrade it and you can hopefully do better in some races, because hopefully a lot of people will have forgotten to upgrade their vehicle. But for free, you might as well have one for sure. Under the off-road section, we have the Mammoth Patriot Mil-Spec discounted this week. This is a vehicle that I don't really recommend, simply because it is extremely top heavy. So if you do any sort of off-roading, which it seems like it should be able to do, this thing is going to end up on its roof a lot of the time. So just be aware of that. And also be aware that I have the trade price here for $900,000. So it is discounted, but by how much? You know what I mean? Now, if you don't have the trade price unlocked for it, it's probably going to be about $1.2 million, which is kind of a crazy amount of money to spend on this thing. However, what I will say is that it does have a money tech available for it, including the missile lock-on jammer, armor plating, and you can put the oil slick proximity mine dropper, and it has bullet resistant windows as well. So it is a very good package of a vehicle, just not when it comes to actually like really driving the thing, unfortunately. So that is something to be aware of. I don't recommend it for most people, but for those of you that are interested, definitely get it right now while it's on discount. Over on Warstock, we have the Nagasaki weaponized dinghy discounted this week by 30% off, going for $1,295,000. Now, unfortunately, it is a Pegasus vehicle, so it is just kind of going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass to actually go and get it, but it is pretty cool. However, it's not $1.3 million cool, so unless you're really going crazy, you have a lot of money in GTA, you could definitely buy this thing, but for the vast majority of people, I would say to avoid the weaponized dinghy this week. The podium vehicle inside of the casino this week is the Pfister Astron, a pretty good SUV. If you can come here and try to win this thing, you definitely should. All right, here in the LS car meet, we have the Enos Deity available to be won this week. In order to win that, you're going to have to place top 4 for 3 days in a row. Not a terribly hard challenge. I would honestly recommend going for it. The Deity is a great vehicle. It's a first-gen Amani Tex, as the bullet-resistant windows, front-mounted MGs, and the oil slick dropper, plus, of course, the missile lock-on jammer as well. In here, we have the vehicles we just talked about, the Pegasus Osiris, Overflot Autark, and the Vapid-Click Wagon. And over here, we have the Karen S95, available for $2,936,500. I would honestly recommend making it yourself. You'll probably save a little bit of money. Inside Simeons are all the vehicles we just went over that are discounted. We have the Obey Tailgater S here, the Proton GP1, Sterling GT, Mammoth Patriot Milspec, and of course the Shih Tzu K-Tora. The priority file in the Garment Factory this week is going to be the black box file. For your salvage yard robberies, unfortunately none of the vehicles are claimable, but we have the Truffaut Z-Type as the standard tier vehicle this week, and that's going to be got by completing the podium robbery. The Duggan robbery will get you the Ubermacht Sentinel Classic, and the Gangbanger robbery will get you the Vapid Caracara 4x4. At Luxury Autos, we have the Pfister Extreme and the brand new Benefactor LRC GT available in here as well. The gun van location today, the day this video is going out, is right here at this drop-off point where you drop stuff off in certain missions. Inside here, we have the battle rifle, 50% off. We also have the shocker available in here as well. The precision rifle is going to be 40% off for GTA Plus members. The railgun is regular price, but we have it in here. Same with the Widowmaker. The Unholy Hellbringer is free this week though, and the Atomizer is also regular price. In here, we have tear gas, Molotovs, and sticky bombs, and body armor is of course 10% off as well. Last but not least, we got the time trials. Your RC Bandito time trial is going to be Construction Site 1, Junk Energy is going to be Sewer System, your regular time trial is going to be End to End, and your HSW time trial is going to be Terminal. So that's going to start right here, and it's going to end all the way up here on the highway right about there. Well, thank you guys so much for watching what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. Sorry if some of the stuff that I was saying in this didn't really make sense. I'm literally falling asleep while I'm recording it, so hopefully it's not too bad. Thanks so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed or you learned something. Dislike if you didn't, of course. Consider subscribing if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.